Yeah, let's do it. Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about permission to enjoy yourself during the holidays. I think one of the biggest mistakes you can make with your weight is to try and eat perfectly during the holidays. Now, again, this is for most people. Some people, it's the perfect time to do that, okay? But for most people, they're going to be surrounded by temptations. They're going to have other foods around, social events, all different things happening. And the North Star for the holidays ought to be, how can I have the best quality of life? How can I get the most enjoyment possible out of the holidays? Whatever that means to you. And I say this to you knowing that your first response may be, well, that will be me eating and drinking everything. Okay. But what I want you to do is take a step back and really reflect on, what is the highest form of enjoyment you can have? Is the highest form of enjoyment eating all the cookies, eating all the food, stuffing yourself absolutely silly? Is that really the highest form of enjoyment? And to really understand this, you need to realize that there's eating the food, and then there's the consequence of eating the food. There's phases of things, right? So eating the food feels good when we're doing it, but there is always an immediate consequence. I'm not talking about the weight gain, by the way. I'm talking about the hour, 12 hours after you eat way too much, eat the wrong stuff, and you don't feel good. No one ever thinks about this, but come on, when you eat way too much, you don't feel good. And that usually decreases your enjoyment of the holidays. When you don't feel good, you don't enjoy things as much, right? So it's important to reflect on that piece. Sometimes we're just so conditioned to look at the eating part of it as that's what defines enjoyment. But how can we possibly just completely negate and ignore the consequence that always has to follow? There is always a consequence. It can be a good consequence or it can be a bad consequence, depending on what we do. But there is always an immediate consequence to what we do. And if you eat yourself silly, the consequence is that you feel lethargic, you feel stuffed, you feel annoyed with yourself, you feel gross, you feel out of control. So we have to take both things into account when we're looking at enjoyment. We can't just look at the eating piece. So once we understand that, now we can go into the magical question, how can I get the most enjoyment possible out of the holidays? And I think where you're going to end up at is someplace where you are eating the cookies, you are eating the, whatever you call them, fruit loaves or whatever, nut cakes, whatever they're called. You're eating the fun stuff from the holidays, but you are not, oh, no one can hear me. But you're not overdoing it. You know, you're not going crazy with it. And that's the sweet spot. That's where you really start to get to the most enjoyment possible. And when you go into the holidays with this mindset, what happens is, again, not to say that you won't, overeat or whatever, but you go into it realizing that I don't want to overeat, not because I can't, but because it doesn't feel that great. And once you start thinking that way, it changes everything, because now you're not trying to not eat because you're trying to lose weight. You're eating differently because I don't want to feel like shit when I'm finished eating. And that works much more with your nervous system and your mindset. And so it's really important that you start to recognize this and approach the holidays with this mindset, where you are actively aiming at the most enjoyment possible, but you have redefined what the most enjoyment possible is, from just eating as much as possible to eating in a way where you enjoy the food and you feel relatively good afterwards. And when you start approaching it this way, I think you're going to be surprised at how you naturally choose to eat better. And if you want support with this process, click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session I give you and listen to it. 10 minutes, it will calm you down and it'll put a new idea in your mind of you being the best version of you possible, of you naturally and automatically eating in a way that supports not only your enjoyment of the holidays because of what you're eating and having fun, but also makes you feel better afterwards. So I hope that helps you out. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. What's up, Jen? Jen correcting me on my grammar. Thank you. I don't take offense to that stuff. I appreciate you doing that because I would rather know earlier and I will go back and fix those. So thank you. But Jen says, hi, Jim. Great topic. Trying to keep structure like a pleasure day, just more of them. Yeah. And sort of, but the thing is here, remember pleasure days in our typical Jen's in the program. So I'm talking a little shop here for a second, but in the program, we have clean and pleasure days, but that's week to week, right? So each week we keep basically we're repeating the same week to some degree. And so the pleasure days during a typical week are the same consistently, right? And so when the holidays come around, it's a little different because it's an outlier. It's a unique week, right? It's its own thing. There's no really, usually there's no other times during the year that are like the holidays. So yes, you can have, you want to have some structure to it. Like I'll give you an example what I mean. So next week, I'll be in some weird place. Like I won't be having like clean days or pleasure days necessarily. There'll be a lot of pleasure days. Yes. And I will aim to have some healthy things within those days. And it's not as structured as my typical pleasure days because my typical pleasure days are locked down because I've 50 of them a year that I get to practice, or 100 of them a year. I have 2 of a week. With the holidays, it's once a year. So I'm not as clear in my mind of how structured it's going to be. So I would suggest, now again, you decide where you want to go with this, but I go into the holidays, like specifically next week, I get kind of looser and looser with my eating as the month goes on until kind of pretty much kicking off this weekend, I suppose, where I'll be in the pleasure day, but it's more pleasure, less structured than my typical pleasure days, if that makes sense. And I'm okay with that because I know it's an outlier. I'm not worried about it. It's a week out of the year. Maybe it'll be 2 weeks, and I don't give a shit because 2 weeks is never going to define your weight, folks. Just letting you know. 2 weeks is never going to define your weight. 2 weeks of overeating is as impactful on your weight ultimately as 2 weeks of dieting would be, which is not very much. So again, Jen, I think that's something you got to kind of think about where you want to be. I personally take this next week, 2 weeks. I would say this next week, 2 weeks are my least structured, most pleasurable weeks of the year. I would say they're up there in the running at the very least. And so I won't be thinking too much. I'll be kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I'll be overdoing it a bit again. And I don't think there's a problem with that. I won't go crazy. I won't eat way too much. I won't drink way too much, but I will eat a little too much probably. And I'll probably drink. I'm the drinking I've got pretty out of control now. So, but I don't know. So yeah, that's a question. I want you to play around with it and think, Jen says, so hard not to be afraid. Yeah. Well, what I would suggest is work on that, start working on feeling brave and courageous because feeling afraid really, I don't want to feel nervous and scared and afraid because that feeling really sets you up to overeat. So I really want to feel calm and grounded and at peace. And the first way I do that is I don't give a shit. Who cares? It's a week, 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. And you got January 1st right on the other side of it. And there's a lot of cultural momentum to get back on track. And what you're going to find, Jen, I say this to everyone in my program, it's always a challenging month because we're in the something period, right? And something never really feels good because you're just like, oh, I'm off track and I'm going to do it well, whatever. But when January 1st comes around, I think you're going to have this natural momentum to want to get back on track with things, tighten things up. And I think what you're going to realize is it's going to be way easier than you ever imagined because, again, there's all or nothing. In Program Yourself Thin, we're all or something. And one of the big differences is that what you've done different this year, I bet, than any other year is that the jump up to being more all is a little hop, as opposed to if you completely checked out after Thanksgiving, now you're down here a month and a half of eating like shit and just being totally off track. And now you expect you to just jump all the way up here to being perfect. So I think what you're really going to appreciate, Jen, is when the new year rolls around and even next week, it is a weird year because the holidays right in the middle of the week, but you may find that, next weekend, the weekend after, you start naturally wanting to re-engage with your strategies you've already been using. So I would check the fear at the door. There's no need for it. You haven't been dieting. You haven't been relying on your willpower to eat better and do what you've been doing. You've been relying on your habits. And you're going to find that your habits, a good number of those habits that you have are going to continue right through the holidays automatically. And when it comes time to kind of refocus yourself and get back on track, you're going to find it's way easier to get back on track because you're just you're relighting up habits that have already been there. You're not trying to totally do something new like most dieters are going to do on January 1st. So, I get that it feels that way for you now, but trust me, relax, calm down, and pay attention to how it feels as you move forward. All right. And I forget what you're at. I think you're in the Thrive program, right? But again, if you're in any of the programs actively with me, again, I'm going to walk you through all this stuff. We're going to have, I got trainings for you each week. So even, coming up, there's a reflecting week, you know what I mean? We're kind of reflect on the year, and that's a really great time to do that. And then as the year kicks off, I'm going to help you get right back into it. So don't even worry about it. Just stay relaxed. And by the way, so that's another thing you can do though. How do I get the most enjoyment out of the holidays? I think it's easing up on eat some fucking cookies, enjoy yourself, eat some of the foods, minimize the damage. Don't go wild with it because that's not really enjoyable. But practice moderation. But one of the best things you can do during this time is to really double down and focus on your lifestyle habits. Okay. So again, the relaxation type stuff, water, sleep when you can get it, movement, any of the ones that are really, you kind of have in your life now, double down on those during the holidays because those will keep you grounded and you'll see that. Okay. What's up, Rachel? What's up, Joy? How's it going? Rachel says, our kids are in town from December 20th to the 31st, so I know these will be outlier days for me. Several of my habits like drinking wine and moving will still stay with me. Yeah, exactly, Rachel. That's what's happened to me with the alcohol. I've been doing this for a long time personally, and the alcohol has consistently kind of reduced. And so, it used to be, there would be years where I say, oh, it's the holidays, I'll drink more wine, I'll do that. And that's just fallen away. So again, when you build around habits, what happens is you get into situations like vacations or holidays, and a lot of those habits just maintain. Again, dieters don't build their process around habits. Dieters build their process around being in complete control, micromanaging every little thing. And that's almost impossible to do during the holidays because you have so much stuff going on, gifts, hosting, traveling, family, all sorts of stuff going on that takes up all that energy. And now you don't have the energy to micromanage all your shit. And what do? You go back into your automatic behaviors. So program yourself, then people, it's not the same thing because we've been investing in our habits the whole time. And so you're going to find that a lot of your habits are going to remain just exactly the same. And some of them might, lessen a little bit, but they're still going to be there. And some of them may disappear too. But what you can do is, again, when you go back to rebuild them up, you're not starting from scratch because you now have the neural pathways and somewhat of neural networks of these new habits. So again, I want you to remember that we are not dieting here, and program yourself then. It's a completely different philosophy. So you don't have to be worried and scared about things. Trust me on that and you'll see. But yeah, Rachel, that sounds great. And I think what you want to do, again, your kids are in town, enjoy the shit out of that, right? How can you get the most enjoyable time being with your kids, right? That I want that to be your focus, not trying to cut calories. Okay. And what I think you'll find is the more you focus on getting as much enjoyment as possible out of hanging out with your kids and enjoying the holidays, you'll naturally make better food choices. And if you put a couple pounds on, who gives a shit? I gladly every December trade a couple pounds just to kind of enjoy myself more, knowing that when January comes around, I go right back to my normal stuff anyways, and the weight comes right off. Why wouldn't it? Now, again, dieters, you got no foundation under you anyways. Program yourself. Then people were always working on habits and mindset and our eating strategies for the long term. That's what I'm trying to always remind you of. Dieters, it's always, dieters are always, there's no strategy, there's no habits. It's just you trying to force yourself to do something. And so you need to have an abundance of mental energy to be able to get yourself to diet. And during the holidays, you don't have that abundance, you're depleted. And so you just fall back in your old habits completely. We'll program yourself, then we work on installing the habits. So anyways, what's up, Kelly? Kelly says, I overdid it on dessert last night, sat with the consequences, felt yucky, and then drank some water and did a redo rehearse later in the night. I feel good and on track today. There you go. Kelly's in the program. But, I try and tell you dieters every single day. And this is what I'm here. I'm here to talk to dieters basically, and try and wake them up. But that's perfect. That's perfect. Mastering your weight is not about being perfect with your behavior. Biggest mistake dieters make is that they think they need to be perfect in order to lose weight. And you don't. And certainly you can't be perfect. You're a human. You're not going to be perfect. So we need to understand that weight mastery is not about being perfect. It's about how to get back on track quickly when you make a mistake and learn something along the way. And that's why in Program Yourself, then we have the redo rehearsal technique, which in my opinion is the core of the whole process, because what it does is it allows you to make mistakes and then learn from them and get right back on track like that. It's not the shitty eating that's doing you in. It's what the shitty eating triggers, right? So for most dieters, it's literally called the what the hell effect, by the way. So it's a real thing. Look it up if you don't know about it. But dieters usually restrict so much and they put so much energy into restricting that the second they make a mistake, they usually just go the other direction and just, start eating everything in sight. And that was Kelly, right? She overdid it with dessert and she had a whole strategy in place. She utilized the strategy and here she is today feeling good and back on track. Is this sinking in, dieters? I don't know if this even means anything to you, but that's the whole game. That's the whole game right there. So great job, Kelly. That's awesome. It says, hi, Jim. I think yesterday someone was saying that her friends would make snide remarks about her eating. If someone is at their goal weight, they wouldn't make those comments. If they're overweight or obese, do you really give a shit what they say? That's like taking financial advice from broke people. Yeah, true story. Yeah, right. And I don't know what their friends were. I mean, I've noticed a pattern here. Sometimes people that are overweight or obese hanging out, I guess, with thinner people that say shitty things to them. And I've noticed that pattern here a couple times with some people. So not sure what that's all about. But again, choose your friends wisely, folks. What do they always say? Like your net worth is the average of the 5 closest people in your life. And I would say the weight is very similar to that. Like the people you hang out with have a huge impact on your behaviors and ultimately what your weight is, So what's up, Julie? Julie says, I want to feel better and have more energy during vacation. Eating crap will make me feel crappy. Yeah, again. Notice how the Program Yourself then people talk. So it's like, think about that mindset though. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not about willpower. It's about the mindset behind it. If someone's dieters are like, oh my God, oh, here come the holidays. Oh shit, I can't eat my favorite foods. I gotta make sure I don't eat the cookies. I gotta make sure I don't eat the fruitcake. I gotta make sure I don't do this. But deep down, you're like, oh, I want to eat it so bad, but I gotta stop myself. That's what dieters think, right? Program Yourself then, just like what Julie said, I want to feel better and have more energy during vacation and the holidays. Eating crappy makes me feel crappy. You don't need as much willpower when you think that way. Does that make sense? Like most of you here probably are non-smokers. Is it because you're fighting off deep desires to smoke cigarettes every day, but you use your willpower? No, I'm not going to do it today. No, you think about cigarettes and like, oh, gross. I don't want that. It's your mindset that's doing the heavy lifting, folks. This is why dieting's not working for you, because your mindset's all screwed up. That's the core problem. Until you change that, probably nothing's going to change. So, yeah, there's Lisa. Yeah, there's no sound. Sorry, TikTok. There was no sound in the beginning. Sorry about that. I was in a rush to get started and I didn't do my normal checklist. But I did catch it, which is kind of a miracle because I don't normally check that when I'm actually talking. But so sorry about the beginning. But again, everyone in the Circle app, I post the podcast there now, by the way. Oh, there's Don. Okay, yeah, got into the Circle app. Need to spend some time. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there, Don. So it's I'm glad you got in there. There we go. Yeah, Jody, nice job. Eating sushi lunch with my girls. No guilt. Ordered one less roll. Yeah, there you go. Mimi says, I love watching your lives. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That's why I do them. Ace says, did you stop using Instagram? No, I'm on there right now. Although I'm frozen. I don't know what's going on Instagram. Oh, no, I'm not frozen. Okay. I guess I just held still for a second there. No, I'm still on Instagram. There has been some technical issues where it keeps freezing a bit when I'm doing my lives, but no, I still using Instagram, and who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm using Instagram a lot more because I don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. I don't know. Crazy world we live in, but we'll see. So I guess 1 month from today, pretty much, we'll find out if TikTok's banned and gone or not. I guess they're going to the Supreme Court to argue their case. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, Julie says on Instagram, never had a problem. Yeah, it's only been this week. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm gonna have to reset something or whatever. But yeah, usually it's totally fine. But yeah, I'm on Instagram. I live stream this to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook simultaneously. So I say that to you all because if TikTok does get banned, I will still be doing this. I'll just be different places. But Instagram's probably the best one, which would be all right. I mean, whatever. I don't want TikTok to go. I don't get it. I mean, of all the things in the world, it's just like 2024. It's like of all the things there are to focus on and worry about, I don't know how TikTok can be the top of the list. I don't know. It's our government doesn't seem to do a whole lot of stuff. But how that got through, you know. But anyways, so hopefully they'll stop that. But if they don't, I'll be over on Instagram and yeah, be doing that. Oh, there's no content on your Insta. I'm not sure what you're looking at. I will say that is one thing. I don't know. Sometimes I'm going to change that, but my Instagram is Program Yourself Then. Maybe that's why. But I have I do have a Jim Kitsulis account too, but I don't really use that much. But there is content in there, but it's kind of old and I don't really use it. But yeah, the active one is Program Yourself Then. I should probably switch that to Jim Kitsulis. Maybe I will. Julie said the Chinese spies are getting healthy after hacking PYT, right? Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not a tech security expert, but I don't know. I like you, TikTok. If you're listening, I don't think you should be banned, TikTok. But we'll see what happens. But the show will go on either way. Get through, but if it does happen again, everything's good and bad. If TikTok does get banned, I won't have to worry about scrolling through 6,000 notifications to get the questions. Katie says, yeah, I'm following the PYT on Insta. I think I'm following the gym one. Yeah. Check out. My Instagram, like, it's kind of dumb, to be honest. I mean, like, I haven't really put much effort into it, and I post stuff there, but I don't know. Like I got to give that some more love. But maybe I'll change the name of it. Anyways, Lin says, hi, I'm loving the podcast and the Circle app. I've been listening to all the old podcasts for months, so very helpful. Oh, that's great, Lynn. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the Circle app's awesome. It's so great. I guess it's going to be the Circle app. I thought it was going to be the Program Yourself Then app, but bunch of dumb shit happened, and it's pretty annoying, but whatever. It is what it is. And Circle app's awesome. So the functionality is the same. It's just called Circle instead of Program Yourself Then app for now. But that's fine. And so it's awesome though. So yeah, if you are a client or a customer, if you've bought any Program Yourself Then stuff, please get in the Circle app. I've sent the emails out, so check your emails. I'm going to send more emails out to make sure you get in there. But this is the stuff. It's way better than that Nudge app I was using. This thing's a million times better because everything's right in the app, and everything's not quite in there yet, but all the key stuff's in there already. And I'm putting more and more stuff in there as we go on. And it's just going to get cooler and cooler. There's a lot of cool stuff with it. So I definitely suggest getting in there if you haven't yet, and especially if you're a client. And again, there is a free version of it as well, but you'll be getting stuff for that as well. Kelly says, I'm realizing that I've always felt doomed to gain weight this time of year. This year feels so different. I know I might be I don't feel stressed about it. I know I might, but I don't feel stressed about it. Doom and Christmas don't go together. Yeah, exactly. I get it. People like to have vacations. Imagine you go on like some awesome vacation you got planned for yourself and don't want to go because you're worried about gaining weight. That's like the exact example of what I'm talking about. That again, your North Star really ought to not be weight. The North Star that you're aiming at really ought to be a better quality of life. And they're not one and the same. I mean, how many of you have lost weight in some miserable ass way? That's not a better quality of life. Weight loss doesn't define how great you feel. If it did, you'd all be exactly your goal weight. The weight loss is a means to an end. It matters. How are you losing the weight? That's what matters. If you do some extreme shit that you can't keep up, what's the point? I know that's lost on a lot of people, but the holidays are just like, I think, a real big expression of that. I don't mind if I put a couple pounds on. Putting a couple pounds on isn't a big deal when you know how to control your weight. It's a big deal when you have no idea what you're doing, obviously. But again, and there's acute moments for dieters that are really stressful. One of them stepping on a scale, right? But again, it's not the scale. What's going on is the scale triggers a realization in you whether consciously or subconsciously, that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You have no idea how to control your weight. So it's like you avoid the scale so you can avoid that realization. And the holidays are similar. It's like, oh my God, I'm so scared of the holidays. Think about it, right? And again, I know the holidays for some people are sad and stressful. I understand that too. But for a lot of people, it's enjoyable. Vacations, vacations are supposed to be enjoyable, right? But a lot of people going into them, they don't want to do it because they're worried about gaining weight. That's what I'm talking about. Program Yourself then is really about creating a better quality of life for yourself. It's weight loss wrapped in personal development, which is about quality of life. And I know dieters are so resistant to, oh, I just want to lose weight, Jim. No, I don't give a fuck. I just want to be thin. Oh, you're going to argue with me? Why are you so confident? Why dieters so confident? I don't get that part. I get everyone's confident sometimes when they're ignorant and don't understand stuff. I get that. But like when you hear me say stuff, it's like, stop acting confident. You have no idea what you're doing. If you're an overweight dieter, don't tell me you know what you're doing. Don't give me any shit about weight because I know more than you do. I'm being obnoxious, but I'm doing it for a reason. So yeah. But that's like dieters have to cut the shit, because it's like your ignorance and your constant protecting that ignorance is what's keeping you stuck more than anything. The idea that you think you know what you're doing. I mean, I cannot tell you how wrong you are. It's hard to even put it in words. I try every day to think of metaphors and analogies and examples and phrases I can use to just show you how off course you are, how far away from the goal you are. And I don't do it to make you feel bad. I do it to wake you up so that you start doing right things to get your weight under control. I care about your weight more than you do. Imagine that, I'm so obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with people's weight that want to lose weight. Again, I don't give a shit what people weigh. I don't care. But if someone wants to lose weight, I'm your guy. Well, if you want to live at your weight, I should say. There's better people for me about weight loss. There's people that can help you lose weight faster than me, no doubt about it. But I don't know if there's anyone. I really wonder this sometimes. I will tell you an interesting experience I have regularly, and I had it this morning again. But I'm reading a book by a PhD, and this guy's got his PhD. I don't know what the hell he's got his PhD in. I don't know, energetics. I don't know. But this guy's whole life, PhD level life, is all about measuring metabolism, right? And weight loss and all this stuff. And I'm reading and I'm like, wow, he's really smart. And I've learned so much stuff from this book. It's been a real eye opener. I dare say it may be the book of the year for me, right? Burn. Maybe. But I always get to the point with these guys who are super, and girls. I get that these people are so smart and their whole lives is dedicated to this. But I find the problem is they're always asking the wrong questions. I really do. And what they focus on is weight loss and not weight mastery. And even this smart PhD who's describing why people struggle to lose weight and keep it off misses the mindset piece. They skim right by it. It was one sentence in this whole book where he talks about, stress levels. He goes physical, mental, emotional, to some degree, stress. And that could have an effect too. Next, and it's like, I find, I don't want to say everyone, because I know there are obviously people out there. There's got to be, it's a big world, but I don't know them. I don't know who the hell they are. Do I have delusions of grandeur? I may. I'll be the first to admit it, but I just don't see anyone talking about weight mastery. I don't see anyone. I've been studying this obsessively for 30 years. I talk about weight so much that I created an AI clone of myself based on 2 years of material I've created, and it equaled 13 million words. And that's not even all the talking I did about weight. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, like, I'm obsessed with this shit, and I can't name one. There's not even one name popping in my head of a person that talks about weight mastery, living at your goal weight. There's that Lana, the 2B method, which is, again, I looked at it and I got my opinion, but now I've had people that have been in that program and then have come into mind. I'm like, yeah, it's like kindergarten. And again, I don't say this. I'm not trying to, build myself up. I'm built up as much as I need to be. I'm just saying it that the reason you're so confused is because no one's talking about what you really need to hear, which is not weight loss. You're inundated with weight loss information about how to lose weight quickly. What you have a complete and total vacuum with is how to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. You never think in that term, and you have no clue how to do it. You would not even know the first place to start. You wouldn't even know the first program or person to learn that from, probably other than me. I don't know. And if someone else is talking about it, please let me know because I will go study them. I'm not saying I know everything. I don't. I'm always looking to learn and grow and evolve. But what I've noticed from, I read, on average, I read 40, 50 books every year. So I'm engaged with this topic and this thing. And I don't see anyone talking about weight mastery and how to live at your goal weight. I see people talking about how to lose weight quickly. So anyways, the reason I talk about it so much is that, again, I want to reinforce that the reason you're struggling with your weight is primarily because you don't know what to do. You don't know how to change your mindset. You don't know how to change your lifestyle. You don't know how to change your eating patterns. You know how to force yourself to act differently for a little while. And that's the trap you're stuck in. Vicky says, I keep going back and forth with the same 3 pounds and I'm okay with it because I'm continually adjusting and readjusting. Vicky, yeah, I feel like it's normal body fluctuations based on consumption variations. I agree. I totally agree, Vicky. And I don't know. I mean, bodies are weird. I will tell you that. It's not as easy as you think it is. And especially as you really get close to that ultimate goal weight of yours. The last 5 pounds are a lot harder than the first 5 pounds to lose for a variety of reasons. And so, yeah, you just got to stick with it. So again, I'm super proud of Vicky. Vicky's awesome. She's in the program and you're going to dial it in, Vicky. I guarantee it, and I don't know, like I've said this before, but I mean, I've already been bragging about myself for 10 minutes here. So you already have that context. But a few years ago, I wanted to drop 5 pounds I want to drop 5 more pounds. I gave myself 4 months. 4 months. And because could I drop 5 pounds in 4 days? Yeah, absolutely. Would I put those 4 pounds right back on? Yeah. So I was looking, the reason I gave myself a lot of time is I was looking, how can I strategically cut the calories I need to cut out that drop me 5 pounds down that I'm going to live with forever? So again, you're right in that spot, Vicky, and sometimes it takes longer, no big deal. If you stick with it, you're going to get the results. It's funny. I don't know if Dawn's here, but Dawn's someone who she's been in the group program. She was one of the first ones in the Thrive program. I think she actually was the first person in the Thrive program, which is it's now called the Inner Circle, but it's kind of a small group that make a commitment for a year to their weight mastery. And so she's been in there, I don't know, year and a half going into 2 years, but it's so crazy seeing her. She was talking this yesterday. She's like, I don't know. She's like, it's just different now. And it's like, I'm not even sure what it is. It's like, I can point to certain things, but it's just like, it's something's different that I can't even describe. That's what it feels like to master something. That's what, if you look in your life, there's something you've been, your job, maybe went to college and got a degree in something. Maybe you got the trade, that you know how to do. Maybe there's a skill, a musical instrument, something you stuck with for a while and something that you can do well now. And the real process of learning is not like this logical, like learning information. The real process of learning is the process of taking logical information and pushing it into our deeper brain structure so it becomes automated. And then we just do it on autopilot. And you can look in your own life, riding a bike, using a computer, mouse, driving, amongst a lot of other things. But those things you know how to do so well now that you just do them automatically. And if I asked you, how do you do them? You wouldn't be able to explain it to me. The things you know how to do the best, you can't explain to me how you're doing them consciously. You just know how to do them now. You couldn't explain to me how you're riding a bike. What would you say? Oh, I'm pedaling it? What does that mean? How do I pedal it? I don't know. Just watch. I don't know. How are you writing? What muscles do you contract? How do you write? You couldn't explain it to me. You just know how to do it. And that's the real process of learning. And again, if you stick with things long enough, you learn. And that's what you need to do to master your weight, by the way, is you need to learn. Which again brings me back to, you don't know what to do. You have some vague idea, but that's not, I have a vague idea how to play the piano. You hit the keys in the right order at the right time and you have songs. But that knowledge versus being able to sit down and actually play a song, those are two completely different things. And this is the problem dieters find themselves in, is that you have some vague ideas about what you should do and almost no ability to get yourself to do it consistently. And that will continue to be your problem if you don't fix that. Julie says, I want to use my time to cook healthy stuff, maybe freeze some. Yeah, maybe go to some farmers markets during time off. Have fun to discover delicious food that's also healthy. Yeah, agreed. I think that's wonderful, Julie. So great. E-Picket, Renee Stevens. All right, I haven't even heard of her, so check it out. I love it. Again, I'm not saying that no one talks about this. It's a big world out there. I know people do. I don't know every single thing, but I do know the majority. And I do know that even if there are some people, there's very, very, very few of us. And I think the importance of it is that it, is the way it's framed. I just had this conversation with someone today that when you can change a conceptual understanding of something, that moves you forward in it's called a paradigm shift, right? If you know about paradigms at all, but paradigm shifts move you forward very quickly, as opposed to staying in the same paradigm and trying to fight it out in there. And so you dieters live in a dieting paradigm, and it's the dieting paradigms that's the biggest problem. It's not your willpower. It's not your meal plan. It's not your diet philosophy. It's your whole overall paradigm concept of weight and weight loss. And one example of that is that you as a dieter only care about weight loss, losing weight. I mean, the whole industry is called the weight loss industry, but in reality, you don't want to lose weight. That's not your real goal, right? Because weight loss, the goal is to get to your goal weight. You think that's your goal and you've thought that's your goal, but it's not. Your real goal is to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. And yet you've never defined that as your goal. Never in your life. As obsessed as you are with your weight, as many diets as you've tried, as many things as you've done, you're like, oh, that has never been my goal. And that difference makes all the difference, because when the goal is just to get to our goal weight, we think of it as a temporary thing. And we say, I want to get there as fast as possible, so I'll do the most extreme shit I can to get there. And that's the problem, is the most extreme shit that gets you there is not going to keep you there, because extreme things are really difficult to do long-term. And so that's, again, why you get into this all or nothing mindset, where you're doing things and you're losing weight. And then as soon as you get to your goal weight, you end up putting the weight back on. 95% of dieters put the weight back on. So again, I think the real transformation begins by shifting your goal from getting to your goal weight to living at your goal weight. And I think that starts you off on it. What's up, Ken? Ken says, my kids have been in town for a couple of days and commented how relaxed I seem. Yeah, again, Ken got the hypnosis program, which I've been getting lots of. It's funny. I don't know. Like I guarantee the hypnosis program. I guarantee all of my programs, but the hypnosis program is the #1 hypnosis program in the world for weight loss. There's no program. This I know for sure. This one I do know. There is no program that comes even close to it. And it's been kind of fun. Again, most people, I want them to get the mastery program, you know what I mean? But I say, okay, the hypnosis, I know I can make you lose weight. If you'll listen to the sessions, the way I lay them out, I know you'll lose weight. I guarantee it. And I do think for most people, now you might be different, Ken. I think most people, the mastery thing's important, because I think getting to the goal weight, living there are two different things and require different information. But the point is that the hypnosis program, I know for a fact that I can make you lose weight. And I just started selling the hypnosis program on its own. And so it's been cool. I've just started selling about 2 months ago, and it's been fun. This week, I've noticed I've had like 6 people write to me about the results they're getting. It's crazy. And it's fun. Again, I want people to master their weight for good, but hey, you got to lose weight first. Right. So I'm happy to hear that. And again, when you listen to these sessions, you're not just losing weight, you're becoming a better version of yourself. You're more relaxed. You're more calm. You're thinking more clearly. You have more patience with your kids. You're more calm. You're more present. You're more grounded. You have more fun. You're more fun to be around. So awesome job, Ken. And again, it's because you're doing the work, right? You're listening to the sessions. But Ken, I think about you and I'm like, I hit a wall with trying to figure out what's wrong. I'm going to get back to you. I don't understand what's going on with you in the app. I will tell you that I don't understand. And I'm at a little bit of a loss. In that app, I can see the Circle app's pretty cool. And I can go into it and see what people see. So like I can go to your profile and it could say, see the app as you see it. Okay. Because different people have access to different things. So I did that and I go right to the thing we were talking about and I see the sessions there. Now, usually I'd say what I've noticed is that some people have older phones and it seems like the audios aren't showing up on those, but I know you're seeing the audios in one place and you're not seeing another. So I'm completely flummoxed. I don't know what's going on here. So I don't know how you're not able to listen to those daily sessions, but I haven't given up on it yet. I just had to mull it over for a little bit and I'll get back to you today. But anyways, Ken said they also wanted to know what diet I was on. That's awesome. Yeah, because Ken, I forget how much weight you lose, Ken. I forget. Jan says, hi from Brisbane, Australia. Started your program after losing 40 kilograms and was struggling to maintain. So I'm hoping they've had good results. Great job. Yeah, 40 kilograms down. Goodness gracious. That's great. Oh my God. Look at Dawn. So yeah, there's Dawn. I was just talking about you, Dawn. But yeah, so Dawn's lost 4 pounds since November. And that's a big deal because she's close to her goal weight, you know? And Dawn's funny. Again, Dawn is another example of a thing I see constantly, which is that I think everyone weighs pretty much what they want to weigh. And I think sometimes people's goals are incongruent with their deeper motivations. But anyways, the exciting thing about Dawn is that her goal clarified and got more congruent for her. And so as soon as that happened, well, what do you know? You know, the weight loss kicked back in again. So again, you'll never convince me that the mindset's not the most important aspect of weight mastery. But that's awesome, Don. That's exciting. What book? Yeah, that was the burn book. That's what it's called. Kay says, I'm the poster child for how to do this all wrong, but I'm slowly pulling myself out of it thanks to Jim. You really are, Katie. And again, no one can, man, your commitment in action taking is second to none. I applaud it very highly. And you're super smart and awesome. So yeah, you got it all going on. But it's like, you know, yeah, sometimes we get so ingrained in one way of thinking, it's hard to break free of it. Some things are easy and some things are hard. But you know, most people, I would say, Katie, like most people have an initial challenge they have to overcome. And most people, well, in the program, if I can work with them, you know, we'll get through it. But once you get past that, a lot of times things, because you know, again, maybe it would be, well, it's not always this, but a lot of times like a paradigm shift. You know, for you, it's a paradigm shift. And so paradigm shifts, sometimes they happen quick, sometimes they happen slow. But once they happen, they're transformative, like instantly. So yeah, you put in that work and you're going to get there. I guarantee it, because again, it's the process of learning. That's what I was saying about with Don. It's like the more you learn this stuff and understand it, it gets to a point of knowledge. I always use the example, like you could feel like you have no mechanical ability, right? And you have no plumbing knowledge. So I say, oh, this thing's broken. Oh, I don't know how to fix that. I have no idea what's going on there. But if you went to school to be a plumber, like if you actually went to the classes and you did what they told you and you learned all that stuff, whether you were good with tools, whether you have mechanical aptitude, any of those things become irrelevant, because you would just learn every day. You'd practice this, you'd figure out what's wrong, learn, get better, grow. And by the end of the training, you'd know how to be a plumber, right? And be an account, plug in whatever you want. This isn't like, again, the one, you know, you're not gonna be like a professional athlete necessarily, right? You have to go in there with a certain set of talent, but things that we can just learn, that's what weight is. And you've been led to believe that it's like this personal, it's a reflection of a personal characteristic of how much willpower do you have, how much focus do you have, how much self-control do you have. And I'm not saying that those aren't a part of it, but they're not the main part of it. The main part of it is, what do you know? I always say that, like if you took my brain and put it in your body, we'd start losing weight immediately. I'm a weight master, a 360-degree master, not just of what to eat, how to live, how to think. I'm an absolute master of it. And so I put my brain in your body, we'd start losing weight immediately. And I know this because I've said this before, and I've worked with a lot of people. And somebody say, oh yeah, Jim, and we always get to, I move them forward because I can think about this 360 degrees in the right direction. And so when you keep learning this stuff, and learning is a funny thing. Again, learning is not just being exposed to the information. That's the first step. Real learning is absorbing the information. And sometimes that takes consistent bouncing up against it. I mean, I'm the perfect example of that with guitar. My guitar path has been slow and tedious. I don't absorb it as quickly as I absorb other things, but I've stuck with it for 30 years and I can play guitar now. Am I the greatest? No, but would you think I was great? If you don't play guitar, you'd be, holy shit, you're really good. I'm on that level, you know? And so, it's proof that even if you're not good at something, if you stick with it, you're going to get a lot better at it. And you have to keep your head in that place. See, dieters don't have that belief. Dieters are just, they already know everything and they just got to do it. And then when they don't do it, it's because, I don't have my willpower. And so there's nothing to fix there. There's nothing to learn, nothing to grow, nothing to get better at. With Program Yourself Thin, it's all about learning stuff. Every challenge you're going to experience, it's addressed in Program Yourself Thin, and there's a reason why you're experiencing it. And there's a way to learn something new that moves you forward. And I feel like that, just that alone, again, talk about two paradigms. Those are two different worlds to live in when it comes to your weight. So again, Katie, you're moving forward tremendously. And again, what I love for Katie is that probably for the first time in her life, she's moving forward in a non-weight. She's moving forward with her weight in a non-weight related way at this point, meaning that the weight's not dropping the way she wants it to, but she's still moving forward and growing and evolving and doing better. She's still moving towards her weight loss goal, even though the weight hasn't gone down yet. That's what I mean. And for a person like Katie, that's the first step she has to take. I have another client. I don't know if Paula's here. Paula was working with me for 7 months and she's like, I haven't lost any weight. And we started talking about it. And long story short, she'd come into the program. She had lost 160 pounds, put 30 pounds on, got in the program and was in the program for 7 months. She goes, I haven't lost any weight, Jim. I said, well, what's been going on? She goes, I maintained, but I haven't lost anything. And so we started talking about things, and eventually what came out, she goes, I've never maintained in my whole life. And so I think for Paula, the main thing was, I need to maintain first. And I need to believe that I can maintain this before I'm going to lose any more weight. And as soon as we addressed that, identified it, literally the next week, she started losing weight. So again, it's a mindset thing, folks. I don't know. I know you don't get that message a lot. So when you hear it, it's just like, you don't even know what mindset means, but I'm here to tell you that it's always mindset, you know, and you can get better at mindset. Again, it's just learning. It's being exposed to new information and learning things. What's up, Claudia? Claudia says, hi, Jim. I've been sick this past 2 weeks and I can't manage the healthy habits. It's okay. When I get sick, my habits fall away too. That's completely normal, Claudia. So again, what we don't want to do is freak out about it. You know, again, there's reasons and excuses. And we want to be real clear about that. When you get really sick, that's a reason, not an excuse. Like if you're really sick and wiped out and exhausted, you're not going to be acting the same way you normally do. So grade yourself relative to the context you're existing in. And if you're really sick, take that into account. You're not doing yourselves any favors by, oh, no matter what's going on, I'm going to do it. That's that David Goggins shit. You know, no matter what the situation, I'm going to be perfect. I mean, if you can do that, you would have already done it. Okay. So join the club over here where we can't do that. I can't be perfect. I have good days and bad days. Times when I get sick, I'm not as healthy as when I'm feeling great. No shit. So just let it go, Claudia. No big deal. Get yourself, focus on getting better. Focus on how can I get better as quick as I can here. I want to feel better. And that usually means rest. And then once you're feeling better, you know, then you re-engage the habits. Okay. But that's completely normal. Again, over a year, I've got times when I feel better and worse, and my behaviors reflect that. That's completely normal. That's called being a human being. Cindy says, PYT mindsets change my eating for the better. Yeah, of course. It's pretty hard for it not to. That's awesome, Cindy. Good job. Damn, down 50 pounds. That's awesome. So let's get a screenshot of that. Why not? I've been getting a lot of testimonials. Let me get that again. I've been getting a lot of testimonials this week. Like I said, it's pretty cool. I always love seeing them. All right. Nice job. Oh, shit. There we go. I'm not using my phone. There we go. Yeah. Ken said, I'm in the 10th week of the mastery program, down 28 pounds. Yeah, nice. Thanks, Ken. Right. I don't know why I forgot you were in the mastery program. Right. I knew that. I knew that about you. So that's crazy. That's fast weight loss. Okay. So I don't want anyone to get freaked out about that. Again, honestly, it's not really just about, it's really just not about the weight loss. I mean, again, that's obviously it's a big deal. And it's one of the main things for folks. I get all that. But again, as Ken said, and Ken really gets the program. I know that for a fact. But it's about him being more relaxed with his kids now during the holidays. You know what I mean? Like it's really, that's the key stuff. Because if you're more relaxed, think about this for a second. And I want you to think in your life, when you've lost weight, how many times in your life have you lost weight and been more relaxed? You tell me what diets you've been on where you've been doing the diet and you've been more relaxed. And I think you're going to have a hard time. Right. So again, it's not that's fast weight loss, right? 10 weeks, 28 pounds is a lot of weight to lose. Okay. A bit outlierish even, but again, it's not even just about the weight loss. The fact that he feels more relaxed, he's calm. He's using, I know Ken's using this stuff in other areas of his life as well. So again, that's the point of it. His life's getting better, in addition to, he's also lost weight. So it's a great job. Art says, can I put your brain in my body then? I wish, right? As close as I can get is the Program Yourself Thin program. And again, it doesn't get much literally like that. Then I literally have Gym AI now, so Gym AI is an AI clone of me, which it's crazy. Gym AI says the same shit I say. And so, it's 25 grand to work with me privately, and you get to work with Gym AI for, $100 a month, or if you get one of the programs, it's included. So yeah, that's about as close as you can get. But yeah, if you have my brain in your body, we would be losing weight. I guarantee you. Guarantee it. It's never, listen, and you may have physical issues that may be slower. You know what I mean? Like somebody, you put my brain into another one. It's there are bodies that obviously there's faster and slower weight loss, factors, but ultimately, Lisa said, why is he on pause? Am I still on pause? You may be paused on TikTok. I don't know what's going on there. Am I? What's going on? I might have paused myself a second ago because I hit the wrong button. Am I back? It won't let me see it drops. Oh. Yeah, I wish I could put my brain. Oh my goodness Lord. I would love to put my brain in a person. I would love that. Like imagine, I mean, although who knows? I used to joke. I used to always joke. I wish I could clone myself so I could work with everyone individually, and here I am with an AI clone. So who knows? Who knows what they'll come up with? That's funny. Yeah, I'm not paused anymore. Yeah, I know it paused me. I was trying to take a screenshot and it like turned my phone off. So I think that's what happened. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'm here. All right. Very good. Showing up. Well, I'm good. I'm here, but I'm about to leave. All right. Got a lot of stuff to do. So again, if you're not in my world, make sure you go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session, get in my world. Lots of cool stuff coming. Again, it's a good time to do it. I always say, weight loss during the holidays. Well, we're not focusing on weight loss right now. Okay. When you start thinking bigger picture, you focus on different things in different situations. And so again, I don't think weight loss during the holidays for most people is the right thing. Now, if you're locked in, knock yourself out, keep going with it. But for a lot of people, it's not really about, it's not about losing weight. It's really, I guess, more about maintaining and kind of minimizing the damage. Oh, I just see Linda. Yep, Linda, I've been maintaining since Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, that's great. Exactly, Linda. That's super, because I know the way you've been doing it is sustainable and comfortable. And again, what I try to say, it's not just about the weight, it's about how are you achieving the weight. And so again, what you notice over and over again with the Program Yourself Thin people is that they're losing weight, they're maintaining their weight, and they feel more relaxed and calm and confident and happier and energized and all the good stuff. As opposed to people that have lost weight on diets where they're white knuckling, they're grin and bearing it, they're miserable. How long can I keep this up and stressed out? That's the important piece. All right. And so again, I'll help you for free. I really do. I give more shit away than anyone I know of, and I will continue to. I got a lot of big plans to give away stuff in the new year. So again, you got to be in my world though to get it. So it takes 2 seconds to go click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session, get my world. And I'm on here every day, Monday through Friday, usually around noon Eastern. And this is a podcast called Program Yourself Thin, and you can go to all the podcast platforms and check it out. And you can find me on all the different social media. So again, I got to start hyping up Instagram. Oh, am I going to change it? Should I change it to Jim Katsoulis? Because I know TikTok's Jim Katsoulis. Maybe I will. Maybe I should do that. It doesn't make sense to have different things. So maybe I'll do that. But either way, you can find me on Instagram. It's under Program Yourself Thin is the more active account. So if you look for that, you'll see it. And I post on there all the time. And yeah, that'll be that. And then if TikTok does get banned, you'll be able to see me over there. But I'm on everything. YouTube. You know what? It's all Jim Katsoulis. What am I doing? See, we all do dumb shit, right? Why do I have some accounts that are Jim Katsoulis and I got my Instagram accounts Program Yourself Thin? So I'm going to fix that. But for right now, you can find Program Yourself Thin, and for the foreseeable future, that's how you find it. So yeah. All right, everyone. So have a super duper day and we'll talk soon. Bye.